Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome students. In our previous classes we have discussed about the sustainability development goals. We have also told about that what is a sustainability report. We have also told about how the sustainability accounting is carried out. Now one thing is there, as because it has become mandatory in many countries, and also it is a global awareness that our business should be sustainable in manufacturing or in mining. When we are talking about the mining industry, we will have to give a sustainability assurance. That means whatever we are doing in our post mining scenario, the sustainable development must continue. Now for that, what is the basic principle we discussed? That we will have to reclaim and restore the mine site. Now while restoring the mine site, we will have to develop the facilities, develop the business, develop the community in such a way that it continues. So we need to get certain examples of it. So there are many case studies. You can search in the internet the sustainability report of say Coal India Limited. You can find out for last 5 years, 6 years sustainability reports of Coal India you can find. Similarly, you can study the sustainability report of Steel Authority of India Limited, sustainability report of NALCO, sustainability report of Hindustan Copper, sustainability report of Vedanta. Similarly, sustainability report of say US mines, Australian mines, lot of literatures are available, and from there you can study a particular mine and how they are doing. So as because this is a area which will have to be developed by you by your own self studies, but today I will be telling you, while going for such type of search in the internet or search in the literatures or reading in the library or searching through the different search engines in the available now in the internet, we need to have a basic concept that what exactly we need to study. So that's why we will have to know about that what is the application of sustainability concepts. We have been talking about that on sustainability as a philosophy it has developed, and then the people started working, and then this the global that recording initiatives and all, they started telling that how the things should be recorded. Then there is also a benchmarking. In the benchmarking means they get certain parameters. On the basis of those parameters, they say that this mine is doing the best practices. So if you search that your best practice mines, you can find out there are very good examples of others. Now say for example, the post mining site of Germany's the Ruhr coalfield has totally now restored. As I said, in Thailand, Myemo mines, there also a concurrent reclamation has led to a very good also you can see of our navally lignite corporations, they have got a best practice of converting the mined out area into a cashew nut garden. That navally lignite corporation started this reclamations and then reuse of the uses of the post mining land long back, and even there are many mines in India which is producing crops, fish, then fruits, vegetables, and similarly they have created recreation centers, recreation places, they have created forests. There is also a scope of tourism, ecotourism, those are coming as a best practice, many places it is there. So, what exactly you will have to know as a sustainable practices, what is a basic principle of those sustainable practices, you will have to find out certain case study. Some sustainable practices means just to keep some economic activity in the mining site at the post mining period. And one such practice, if you search, you will find out that is maybe your mine tourism. As I told you, that is where they in a at Ostrava they have got some of the places, that is your mined out area. It has become, they have maintained a old mine canteen, which is now exactly as a tourist people go there, sit down and then enjoy that how 100 years ago the miners came out of the that shaft, how they sat down and how they did. They recreate the things, that they have preserved the mining shaft and the winder over there. The people go visit and then move around the area. They try to feel that how the miners 100 years ago they were coming out of with the from the mine and taking the coal. And then they have in the neighborhood, they have maintained all the old machines, their things they have kept over there, and then they made even the simple some ropeway to get a children activity. They can make fun of it, they can play game with it, and with that they have changed these things, and those old mine site is now exactly doing a economic activity, and it is now they have maintained, sustained the place. Only that it is they are not no more producing any coal, but it is a area where it is economic activities are going on. So, there is also certain active mines where the environmental impact reduction, how they do it exactly, you may find out how the acid mine drainage has been reduced, you may find out how the dust particle released can be suppressed over there. For that different type of practices are being done. So, those are the case studies you will have to look into. So, after going through this lecture, therefore, you will be able to initiate some systematic collection of best practice of sustainable mining and identify the areas of R&D that will have to be done for sustainable mining. This is more things. The case studies you will have to see, and from there you will have to find whether it is in our minds, in that area where we work, can we improve something by more research and development activity. So, the future of mining and the metals industries is inseparable from the global pursuit of sustainable development. So, we will have to follow these sustainable development principles over in mining also. The issue of the mining industry is, will the industry be a critical and important contributor to sustainable future? When we have given the 17 sustainable goals, in that how the mining industry will be contributing. So, that is your what the people say about the mining, it is damaging the environment, it is doing things like that. So, how true they are, how exactly it can be, what is that eco-friendly mining and then green mining, which are a capability and possibility of near future, and in that how our sustainable things will happen. So, one quotation here is a very important one. It is said by the Judge Littlewood, that is your how they mentioned it here is, despite the economic benefits that mining and metals bring to the societies in both the developed and developing worlds, its environmental and social consequences, real and perceived, attract greater attentions. People talk a lot of it. Then its very tangible technological accomplishments which have delivered more efficient and clean extraction, production and use of metals are usually overwhelmed by low-tech images of massive holes in the ground. But one thing is there, in the mining wherever it is done, it is okay. There is it looks dirty, it has been kept in a very dilapidated manner and all that thing, but at the same time it is possible where it is done with proper technology selections, a green mining is a reality. So, that is why we will have to see those case studies, how this development has transformed the mining world. So, issues in application of sustainability concepts in mining, what we need to look at, what role is mining to play in the transition to sustainable future. In a sustainable future, whether the mining is inseparable, mining will have to provide the raw materials, but while doing so, how it will keep itself clean, how is that debated and decided. The people are talking about that mine no go, no mining, no without these things, stop these things, protect environment, but there what is the proper stake of the mining companies and the mining business? How can the industry do better to contribute to the sustainability goals? That means the sustainability and mining, it is will have to be think simultaneously, and for that exactly what global mining initiative is, and the mining, mineral and sustainable development, this area that studies have started, and the people have thought a lot of things. In many of the Canadian initiatives in this respects, Australian initiatives are very good to go towards this our sustainable mining. The mining, minerals and sustainable development requires clearing bottlenecks like a lack of trust between the industry, government and society. That this society has got a different negative perspective of mining, that is to be removed by more discussion on the case studies which they have achieved. For example, a lot of say in a Goa mining area has totally transformed some of the areas into a beautiful landscape. Similarly, Nepalese experiences can be given a very good discussions in the public forums. So, those cases will have to be collected. Then confusion about boundaries of responsibilities are also there, that need to be removed, and the need to translate sustainable development principles into operational standards and benchmarks for communities, consumers, companies and countries. This is to be looked into. Now, required long-term strategic approach by mining industry. So, mining industry will have to exactly change its way of doing, and it will have to adopt a global perspectives which recognizes issues of the concern for both the developed and developing world. So, mining industry will have to see, and as because it's mining is a global business, and then everywhere, whether it is in the developed country or the developing country, will have to do in the same way while thinking of the environment and ecological impact of it. The ensuring that the study to be action oriented, so that it would become a engine for the change, and for that how different places, different mining are working. So, the mining industry can reduce environmental impact and make its practices more sustainable. These questions need to be answered, and then wherever the mines are doing their work, their cases need to be very correctly studied. So, what is the lower impact mining techniques? There could be innovative technique by which that impact of mining can be reduced. You can reuse the mining waste, that whatever the waste generated, it should be used. Eco-friendly equipment can be developed. Your rehabilitating mining sites, there are many uses. You can have a farmland, you can have a forest land, you can have a other business purposes, and then there are a lot of illegal mining, how that could be stopped, and that will be giving us a sustainable future. The function of the sustainable mining is your extract with responsibility, produce with less waste, use safer processes, incorporate new sustainable technologies, promote improved well-being of local communities, curb emissions, improve environmental stewardships. Now, these points are very important for you when you go for studying a case study of the sustainable mining. You think of going to any mines of Coal India Limited, there you find out under these points what are the points to be given. You go to a mine, say Meghatuburu or Kiriburu mines of SAIL, you go to Panchpatmali mines of NALCO, or in there you try to find out and ask this, and this will be revealing the ideas, and then you will be able to prepare a very good case study of the mines. So, this sustainable mining is being practiced or not in a particular mine can be looked by you. If you read the reports of the company, there you will always find, because it is ultimately very finely given, but whether it is given without bias or not can be done by your research, and for that these particular points will have to be collected. And then when you are doing a best practices, that means you will have to also find out, when you go for doing a case study in that mine, whether they have embraced digitization or not, how much exactly the modern techniques have been used, whether they have been eliminating delays in their activities. That means that whenever it is to be reclaimed, that is there any gap between the reclamations and then that lying as an abandon, then develop infrastructures, that is how, whether any infrastructures have come up in the mined out area or not, and then how exactly you collect the data with reliability, what are the real time data mining is being carried out over there, that mine sustainability, how it has been exactly defined and practiced, protection of the indigenous populations, how the society and community aspects are being seen, and whether they have been a long term plan or not. These parameters also will have to be studied along with the previous one which I have said. These two will be giving you that how you will be exactly publishing your case study of a things. Now, as an example, in Honduras, this is a San Martin mine. They have done a reclamations and they have done a very good job. So they have prepared this YouTube. You can go through this YouTube link and you can see how exactly a company claim their sustainability activities, and this case study will help you to understand. Then research projects are needed. One thing is there, when you go for identifying a case that how their mining is getting a sustainable mining is being in practice or not, you will have to explore various questions to increase the understanding of the sustainable development impacts of the mining. So in that research, you will have to prepare a proper questionnaire by which you will be revealing that whether they are exactly practicing or not. Then you will, in that research, you will have to develop and disseminate sustainable mining practice. There is a research need also in the sustainable development metrics, that in which way you will measure that the sustainable development is exactly at it is being practiced or not. And then also the research will be towards carrying out the life cycle assessment to evaluate this cradle to grave, that is your effect to the effect of mine characteristics on life cycle assessment and long term control of the rehabilitation sites. These are some of the areas where research will be required. And then when we see that the factors influencing mining sector sustainability, you will have to investigate to doing the case study that what are the things done with the health and safety, your effective engagement of the community, respect for the indigenous people, whether that what type of interactions with them, how the environmental measures are taken, full mine or operation life cycle, that is your whole life what they have done, and then what are the resources used efficiently or not, that how exactly their investment is getting return on their investment, then how the continuous learning and adaptation is being done or not, and ultimately what economic benefits are there. So these are some of the factors on which a case study should reveal. Then exactly the benefit of the sustainability it is getting or not. As we said that in the triple P, that is people, planet, and that is your profit, that economic, social and environmental aspects, they have got some benefits or not. That means your what are the socio-economic benefit, what are the benefits towards the health and safety, how it is contributing to the quality of life, that need to be seen. Similarly, in the environment of air, land and water, what things have come, and then ultimately what is the cost of achieving that, and then what type of results they have got as an operational excellence, and how the society reacts with them to give them license to operate. These are the things exactly revealed in when in your report, when you will be preparing, going to a mine, collecting their informations and developing a case study. So, exactly if you want to check and certify that this mine is you want to check whether a particular mine is the best practice or not, whether it has got certain things to do. Now, you will have to find out that before mining how they have planned the neighborhood, they have whether they have done a rigorous environmental impact assessment, and then whether that what are the processes they have exactly followed for that. During the operations, whether that they what are the things they have done for the protecting the environment, particularly to prevent the land degradation, to prevent deforestations, creating a forest over there. Then what are the subsidence they have been finding out there, that how the air pollution is taking place, water pollution taking place, soil pollution taking place, all other whether the toxic things and all how it is coming, all those things during the operations need to be very categorically and systematically collected for preparing the case study report. Then after the operation, plan for closure, that is how that closure has been planned, and then how the site is going to be restored, and how the community is will be continuing their developmental and other activities, and then how the company will be working, that is after the mine is closed, then also the company will be staying there with a different business. So, these are exactly will be leading to whether you are having a planned closure or you are having a abandoned mine. So, this is a framework within which you can carry out your case study. Then the integrated sustainable development strategy, this includes exactly what is required. The government has given a policy. On the basis of that policy, some strategies and standards are developed. Then the leadership and the accountability of the company is defined, and then they evolve a management system. And in that management system, there is a monitoring and reporting things, and in that for monitoring and reporting, you will have to get certain indicators and method for a particular target. So, this approach, when it is exactly done properly, you will be managing the risks and you will be able to lead to towards a performance. And these things when collected together and put it and presented, that is a case study. So, it may be that if it is going in a more negative way, that may means that company is not at a sustainable practices are not there, and you can recommend that what are the things to be done. So, there are many other issues come in when you do a case study, how they mitigate. So, there are certain reports you can see it is given in the references. You study that people studied about the mitigating the acid mine drainage, what strategy to be followed, what exactly it will influencing, what are the changes you will be measuring, and then what are the different organizations will get involved, and then ultimately how the time planning will be done, and then what will be, you will be requiring for it. So, this is the way how you need to make a framework for a study, and then you should go for collecting the data and do the study. So, similarly you can take up a case study for finding out, you go to a mine and find out that how they are exactly handling their waste, that is how they are reducing their waste. The same principle, you go for the strategy, find the influence, how they are measuring the change, what are the orientation of the development and the goal, and then how you will be implementing, and then what will be the material needed. So, this is just as an example, you need to do a thinking of a particular problem and then go for the studying these things. So, all the sustainable mining plan can be with the basis of your leadership and culture, how you exactly do a zero harm, how you inclusion and diversity is given for the all equal opportunities, and then group standards and processes are given, and the compliance with the legal requirements. These are the essential for any mining operations, but there you find out that whether there is a certain things which may create a problem, is there CO2 hazards, is that whatever the reclaim site is there, you have placed the things in such a way there, will there be in future a carbon dioxide influx from that reclaimed area, or whether there is a in the soil whether carbon isotope is there, so or other toxicity is there. So, this is the way how you will be studying the different part of it. So, as a learning activity, please take it note that they study the environmental footprint of mining at different stages of mining life cycle, at the exploration stage, at the that is your development stage, at operation stage, or at the closure stage. There would be different environmental footprint. You find it out, and then once you will study them to find out, and then what type of mitigation measures have been taken by them or could be taken, and then what will be their impact. So, this you just do a study of the environmental footprint. From there you can reveal. If you just go to study a particular mine, you will be finding it out. So, case study of environmental sustainable mining, what you must look into. You will have to solid waste management interventions. You will have to know how the waste is generated, and they say many times your say for example, in some of the mines, particularly Normandy and other mines, you can go and find out they are using the overburden good material also for making the haul roads. You can find out that there could be, if there is a overburden dump can be produced, that can produce a vegetable and crops, that they can make a horticulture can come up over there. Then this your how in a mine you can go and study that in which way their slimes or the tailings, how they have kept, then what are their rehabilitation plan, you can see over there. So, you can get another case study of the Tata Steel, their water quality interventions. They have done the recycle and reuse process. They have got a zero discharge slime dams in Normandy mines. Then they have got a faster settling of suspended solid by putting some coagulants, and then they make them to settle faster. Then there is a rainwater harvesting, it is very good there. If you go to Joda mines, you can see a very good rainwater harvesting. Go to Normandy, you can see a rainwater harvesting, and by that they are able to provide perennial water streams. That is where, because of the hilltop mining, there were the damage of the nullas, and then no water was there in the dry season, but because of the rainwater harvesting and all, people get throughout the year some water from the nullas. So, these are the things that they have. You can do a lot of interventions how they have done. Say for example, the overburden dumps, they are made a vegetations properly. They do a tow wall and garland drains. They make that oil trap so that this oil and grease do not go to the soil. Then they can make the water, mine water can be converted to a drinking water. You can see that also in WCL mines, where they have exactly mine water is being distributed to the villagers, and they are now even bottling. And then there is a no depletion of water table will take place when you take these are the some of the interventions done by the mining company can lead to a sustainable mining or the sustainable post mining business, and this need to be carried out by you. And then what you need to look is the studying application examples that I have highlighted here. Then you are advised to use Google and YouTube videos to study at least 4 examples of suitable best practices. There are a lot of references are there, but see what can be done. We have seen there are many site transformations can take by the vetiver. This is at Joda mines, which was just that our IIT Kharagpur did this type of overburden dump. They converted to this. This is how we can do it. And in the overburden dumps, amongst the vetivers, even the vegetables, this watermelon, it could be produced. So that means between you stabilize the slope by vetivers, and in between vetiver, where your soil has that, if there is no toxicity in the soil, the toxicity in the overburden, you can produce vegetables and all. This was demonstrated in 2012-13. We can have even a artificial forest can be created over the overburden dump. This is an example again at Joda East mines, in an iron ore mine. You can see that all the local school children were brought in 2013, and then making a World Environment Day celebrations, we planted these things, and in 1 year you can see that where they, because of the method we followed, their Miyawaki method, it could create this artificial forest quickly, and we could see that within a year, if a person is sitting over here, you cannot see. So, this is the way how a site transformations was demonstrated. So, that is why we tell that the mining, it can lead to a sustainable, this area once the soil is improved, in between that we can now have our food. You can give your different type of taros and different type of vegetables, your leaves and all, we can put it over there, so that the local people can collect some food materials from here. So, this is the site transformations you can see over here, what we demonstrated at Joda mine in 2014. Now, that of course, this is the stabilizations, because so that because of the vetiver grass we have planted, this this slide, that is your material cannot slide and it retains, and even that the bamboo, it is just given over here that it is exactly stabilizes the slope. Now, this particular area is fully stabilized, ready for any horticulture or other activities can be carried out. So, this shows that exactly we can do our so ultimately what has been said here, that with the help of our scientific and technological approach, we can develop the mining area as a sustainable development goal implementing area, and a sustainable mining, that means with the post mining activities, post mining area can remain sustainable, that is possible. So, you are advised to undertake case studies, and as the approach is given over here, please prepare your sustainability case studies report. Thank you very much.